promotions game was a young man's game. And I kind of turned in my late 20s. I realized I needed something else. And I actually tried a big one-off event, and it didn't work. And so that was really the first time that in my professional life that I'd faced failure. And at the time, it was awful because I was still so young. And for a while, I was angry at the people that had let me down. But then at the point that I realized that I can't rely on other people, at the end of the day, yes, they did, but I shouldn't have known. But you don't know what you don't know, which is where I rather philosophically ended up, which is a mistake isn't a mistake unless you make it twice. So all those lessons that I learned, being really candid with you kind of only can learn them by making a mistake. And I think that's something that I would give to any entrepreneur that's looking to go on a journey where they have a business. Don't be afraid of failing, because that will be the best schooling you will ever get. So I then pivoted and went, right, I was back to the drawing board. And so I went back to sport, and I went to work for a basketball franchise in the Northeast, completely voluntary, because I'd been very successful in promoting, and it was a lot of money for a youngster. And of course, I didn't really save any of it, because what 25, 26-year-old does. And I was scared that I wouldn't be able to make the kind of money that I got used to elsewhere. So I went, and Paul Blake is the name of the guy that owns that franchise. They're the biggest franchise in the British Basketball League, which is the equivalent of the NBA, but only in the sense it's a professional league. The difference in standard is crazy, apart from the Americans that came over. So I actually got a real insight into America all the way back then, and it really piqued my interest. So I realized, working with Paul on kind of sponsorship, activation, sales, marketing, that it was no different, that it was the same disciplines, but slightly tweaked, which is where you'll hear me often talk about, and from a marketing and business development perspective, that there is a set of ingredients that are pretty standard, but what really sets a good marketeer apart from in business development is spotting the ability to create the recipe from those ingredients. And that was my big schooling, which I still see as like the end of the lessons from that.